Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors in Winston, Chester. Glad to hear this Friday morning. Everybody getting ready for a great weekend. It's going to be sunny today. It looks like a good weekend shaping up. Great opportunity to do some outdoor stuff. Let's take a look at the weather. High today, 66. Low tonight is right at 40. This will be one of our final cool snaps. We got one or two coming around before Easter, you remember. But the water temperature now, all important water temperature, and yes, it did go up 1 more degree. It's at 64. And if I counted right now, looking back on this week, I counted 2 fogs according to where you are. But I counted 2 fogs, so when a fog comes in next week, it's going to be just follow all the Spanish mackerel will be right behind that fog. So be ready for it. We're going to show some video on all that next week. River readings, Apalachicola Bluntstown, right at 20 foot again, and it's going up. The shock test at Caryville is back at 10 feet, back in double digits. It's at 10 feet this morning and headed up with all the rain we've been having, some heavy rains and all throughout the Panhandle. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery right here on 23rd Street. We're looking at a low tide this morning at 4:33 and a high tide at 6:43, and we're going to get our chart back next week. We got it in the works right now. We're looking at the wind direction north-northwest at about, it says 16. It's been blowing every day this month. There has not been a calm day yet, and it goes the last 2 weeks of February, it blew every day too. So it's been if you like to sail and all, you're in a good position, but if you like to fish on these lakes and all, it's been pretty challenging. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let me start this segment by thanking my good friends Stan and Ken for taking the show yesterday. Some days I just have so much, some things I just have to take care of, and it's such a good feeling that I know I can fall back on people like this, that I know how dependable they are, how good they are, how well respected they are, and how knowledgeable they are of outdoor activities. And I get a lot of good comments, and I enjoy watching them myself. I get a kick out of it. I love what Stan said. It don't matter what the FWC said. They may or may not have it right, but we got to go by what the rule says, what the law says, and that's the truth. You're talking about a speckled trout. You don't know if we got it right or not, but we got to go by the law. So be aware of that. But thank you, Ken and Stan, and it's enjoyable. In fact, I went ahead and circled on my calendar. I've got each month on there. August the 14th now is the National Wild Turkey Federation Banquet here locally, the Longbeard Association. So I've already got a circle on my banquet. It's a Friday night, and so I'll be there. So go ahead and circle it. I want to thank a lot of y'all called and on the Nashville tornadoes. That was what a tragedy, and what a vicious act of nature, but no one could control. But you know, we've been through the same thing with a hurricane, and we know how they feel. And I've read some of the comments those people made that survived it, and I knew exactly, we knew where they were coming from. And I think everyone in our viewing area knows somebody in Nashville. So many people have moved to Nashville over the past 15 years especially. I looked at the history of Nashville. Is sort of like the new Atlanta. Years ago in the 50s and 60s and 70s, everybody went to Atlanta with technology and all developing around the airport and all that. But Nashville has taken over. Just everybody's moving there. I want to thank y'all for calling, checking on Wendy and Walter and the kids. A lot of y'all have called me or text me, and I appreciate it. And Gail and I really thank y'all for checking them. They're all fine. They're in the sort of south. They're sort of in Franklin, which is southwest of Nashville, and Whitney. I'm gonna show you on the map where she is. She was close to it. But I was reading some of the comments, and especially on Facebook, I knew a lot of people. One of my former students, she and her husband, she's a physical therapist up there north of Nashville, entire house gone, but they were in the basement. Fortunately, a lot of those people were saved in the basement, but man, if you saw I know y'all saw the devastation and all this, incredible. I want to show you this. Amy Moody posted this. Amy, we've had the Moody, she was Steve Spurrier's daughter. She married into the Moody family, and Amy and I have been in touch for a long time. Amy's a great teacher down at Cove. But check this out. First of all, I want to, right here, the red dot, her son's up there at Belmont, okay? So the green, okay, listen to this now. The green line was yesterday's tornado. All right, now look, that's a river, of course, the big Ohio River coming through the middle of Nashville, right? That's downtown Nashville. That green line is the path that the tornado that we just had, that they just had, was the green line. Now the orange line was a tornado track from 1998, okay? And then there's a purple line, was a tornado track from 1933. Now isn't that amazing how close those were? Devastating tornadoes. And if that's not a tornado alley, it's amazing. So Walter, all right, you see this situation there, Walter posted on it, and see, he put his finger, this is where Whitney was here. She and her friends have an apartment down there in downtown Nashville. So she was mighty close to it, and I just wanted to thank y'all for checking on the family, and for, I know some of y'all are getting stuff together. In fact, I want to, Michael Harris touch base with me. I'm going to read this right here. I'm on, attention everyone, this is from Michael Harris, who has a large enclosed trailer that we can get and full of supplies and take it to Nashville and get the supplies in the right hands. I know a lot of people don't like to donate money, so if you can just take donate different things, hand sanitizer, toilet paper, snacks, bottled water, dog food, etc. And then it was one that put a group of people together and take a trailer to Nashville. And Michael Harris is behind this. He's pushing for it. He did this before. He's done it, I think, in Enterprise when he hit up there in Alabama. But here's his phone number right here. And his last sentence, when Hurricane Michael hit, we received the blessings from many people. Please call me at 860-630-8187, okay? So we got that covered. I want to make sure we cover that and all. Also, on another subject, I got a really good email, and you're going to be excited about this because I got this email, just got this email. Your box is on the way. The mystery tackle box. They let me know when it's been shipped. So next week we'll be giving away that mystery tackle box. So we're all excited about that. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Jeff Peck, being observant on top of everything, he just said that I think I think Michael put his wrong area code. It's 850, I think it was 860 on the screen, but it's 850-630-8187. Y'all give Michael Harris a call and try to help him find a trailer and get that stuff up there. That's some good stuff going on with people helping like that. Thank you, Michael, for doing that. Let me throw this out at you because it has nothing to do with outdoors, but it does in a way because it takes up your time when you have to do this. Robocalls, I've talked about them before. Let me tell you what happened just the other day, well, yesterday really. Gail received a robocall, and it was, they were talking about paying off your student loan is going to be completely paid off anyway. So Gail, every now and then we'll talk to the people. So Gail said, well, where's that money going to come from? Is my tax money got to pay off all the student loans and all that and whatever? And I think it made the girl mad because immediately Gail started receiving calls. And did you just call me? Did you just call me? All right, within a 2-hour block, Gail answered her phone. Here, she got a call from Memphis, Tennessee, Ocean City, New Jersey, Hampton, New York, Ashland, Ohio, Janesville, Wisconsin, Las Vegas, Montgomery, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia, and Portland, Maine. And people calling, they were real nice. Said, did you just call me? And I just got a call from you. And what happened, you piece it together, those people, that girl that Gail talked to got mad and just punched our number, Gail's number in there, so people started calling. Now, you know, in America, this day and time, we should not have to put up with that. Our elected officials should have, and our government should have enough power to stop these robocalls. That went on for 2 hours. Now, that's just the people that called her back. Think about all the people that just hung up. And I don't know if y'all still, I get a spam alert a lot of times on my cell phone, but sometimes it's just, I kept thinking they're going to get a handle on this, but it's gotten worse. So I don't know if y'all have this or not. When I say it takes time, if we're out fishing, that would aggravate me, but I wouldn't answer it. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Maybe you shouldn't even argue. Gail really wasn't arguing. She was just asking how y'all going to do how you going to miraculously pay off everybody's student loan in America just like that. And anyway, so let's move on to I want to show y'all some pictures. This is some cool stuff here. Let's start off with this one. Okay, I got this back. Thank you, Jeff. Keep me going here. We'll talk about, well, you know, this is for some of my fishing friends who they always tell me what they caught and all, and I said, well, we always say, well, how big was that fish? And they said, well, so here it is right here. Rusty Kelly sent this, catching a fish. All right, this is in top left. On the top left, what I think I will catch, what I almost caught. All right, you still with me? I'll go to bottom left. What I say I caught, and then what I actually caught. Now, I'm not going to call that any of my friends' names, but I think y'all know who I am. I think we all have friends like that. And now, one of the coolest mounts I've seen in a long time, and we're wrapping up hunting season. A lot of y'all getting all kind of cool mounts put together, and it's really our taxidermists are very creative in putting something together, especially doing different things and all. But check this one out right here. This is this is a whole body mount. Now, if you live in a two-story house, especially if a hunting cabin and all, has them jumping over the rail. That's one of the coolest ones I have seen in a long time, okay? And then this one right here, I missed it Tuesday. My daughter Wendy always taught Florida history, and she would have a party for Florida. Well, this past Tuesday, Florida was 175 years old, and no Common Core math was used to determine. As I sent this picture, she's up in Tennessee teaching, so I sent this picture to her saying Florida's 175 years. This was on Tuesday of this week. I wanted to share that with you too. She would have parties. She would have a class party with red, white, and blue cupcakes and stuff like that. I always thought that was cool stuff. Okay, a couple of other things I wanted to mention. We've talked about this before. This eagle, when we go down to the Cape, we'll go through Tyndall, and halfway between Tyndall and Mexico Beach is this eagle's nest, and we've talked about it before. I showed this picture. Here it is again. I'm just fascinated, you get that word now, with this picture. And this obviously was built after Hurricane Michael. And it's right next to the road. It's within 30 yards of the road. And here's another picture of it. And see the top of it, it looks like an eagle. It looks like an eagle sticking out up there. It's actually not, it's a stick. And here's a disc, you see it as you come in, that's a Tyndall, that's headed toward Mexico Beach. So if you're going that way, it's on your left. And it's right before you get one of the big old towers and a big old clump of woods. You can't miss it. Every time I go by it, I just stare at it, and I just think it's so cool. So these eagles. Here's what intrigues me now. When eagles, they mate for life. But if something, and they'll build that nest and all, get the nest all built and get it really nice and all. But if something happens, and they'll reuse that same nest, and they've documented they'll fix it up and sort of remodel every year and all. And what happens if you're not careful and all, it could be if something would happen to the male. Okay, so that leaves a female, and then if she picks up with another male, they won't go back to that original nest. They will build their own nest. And I thought that was, how nature is so amazing about doing things like that. I just wanted to share that with you. And if you ride by there, a lot of y'all go that way or come back that way, just take a look at it. But I have not seen it. That first year, last year after the hurricane, they had a big nest in there, and we saw them coming in and out several different times. But I haven't seen any activity recently, so I don't know if something happened to the male and all. But that's just one of observing nature that I just love to do and all. Okay, now let's look at. I wanted to share this with you. This is fascinating. That's twice, Jeff. We use the word fascinating. The pier over in Navarre, and we go there every year for Memorial Day. They sent this report. I picked up this report. This is amazing. This comes off the pier page, official Navarre Beach Pier, okay? They're catching tuna off the pier. Look at that. Now, that was back not too long, within the last couple of weeks, but anyway, look at there. These are tuna. You see it in Navarre? Okay, Coach's Corner. They used to be there in Lynn Haven, but some nice tuna being caught off the pier there. And here's one right here, caught on the Navarre Beach Pier. So some really good winter fishing off that pier. So that's going to lead us into our report. But that's, some people pay a lot of money to go offshore and catch those tuna. Here these guys catch them off the pier. All right, now let's get ready for our drawing. The main thing on the drawing, before we get to that, I want to mention, because Ken and Stan were talking about turkey yesterday, and I was looking at a magazine last night, and I get this every 2 months. But anyway, what they do, this is a great magazine as far as it breaks down the species like the eastern and all, and the right there the Miriams. They're like the Grand Slam. It tells you, it draws a map. Each one of these pages has a map on where you can find that particular turkey. And it's a really good magazine, all kind of information in here. And like I said yesterday, that big banquet, it's not just for turkey hunters, that big one they have in Nashville. It's the whole outdoor gamut, and that's how things have shaped up. Even like our boat shows now, they just don't show boats. It's a part of a lifestyle, and that's something we preach from day one. Being an outdoors person is a lifestyle, and it's not just one thing you zero in on. So it's really, really cool stuff, and I appreciate them sharing that with us. Okay, now let's get back to drawing. But that's the Turkey Country Magazine. If you remember the National Wild Turkey Federation, you get that in the mail every other month. Okay, now let's go to our $20 gift certificate from Tarpon Dock Seafood. And we're looking at, from Freeport, Jackson Schubert from Freeport. And then the big red snapper, we're looking for, from Lynn Haven, Tara Simmet. From Lynn Haven, Tara and Jackson, in that order right there. Now we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and set up our famous Friday fishing forecast. Okay, welcome back. I want to start off my fishing forecast talking about Mexico Beach. I've been by the last a couple times the last couple of weeks, and it's really, the progress there is really encouraging and almost thrilling to see. And I always think about the surf fishermen. Now they got the walkways built there. We're going to zoom in on. Got the walkways built there, and the beach itself. The sand dunes are put back in there, and it just okay. Of course, the canal is still a little, but the pier hasn't been rebuilt. But the Mexico Beach folks should be very proud of what they're doing. They're just, and I'm hearing some really good things about the fish being caught off of Mexico Beach. It's going to be so convenient now. There's so many walkways, and I want to stretch it on down, not just Mexico Beach, but St. Joe Beach has some really good fishing areas. So the surf fishing, I want to mention this because the surf fishing in that area is going to be really good, and we're going to get surf fishing right around the corner. So I just wanted to mention the Mexico Beach area to start off with. And again, I've been down to the Cape several times. Everything's looking good down there. Those spots to fish were the same places I talked about. It's still a little early for pompano. A lot of y'all are asking about the pompano. It's still a little bit early. But now what we're going to look, okay, here's my fishing report. It's pretty slim. Let me start off, before we get to Spanish, let me start off on the squid. The squid is a big deal, okay? The squid really precedes the Spanish. The squid start coming in, and they're coming through the bay system. And in fact, I had a call from a good viewer and a loyal viewer, and he wanted to know what's the situation on the squid. Have they made it up to the Deer Point Dam yet? Because see, that's the ultimate goal, because they're gonna come on up there to keep on spawning and come on up there. And when they get to the Deer Point Dam, that means they're all over the place. I have not had any reports on the squid that far up, okay? In fact, you see where they'd have to go. They'd come through the pass, all right, come through the pass, go all the way up through North Bay, and then go all the way up here, go all the way up through North Bay, and there, right in the middle of the page is the Deer Point Dam. And they've been caught off the Deer Point Dam before on a regular basis in the springtime. But first they're going to be, next to last will be the Lynn Haven Bridge. But the first places they're going to be catching them is down right here in St. Andrew, right down here. Now downtown, they used to catch a lot of them downtown, but you'll catch them, that's right here. I'm sorry, this is St. Andrew right here. I was looking, the bridge, you're going to catch them. I'll go back to where I was. You're going to catch them right here around the bridge and all. You can catch them there with a big old light, but right here in this place right here in St. Andrew, off the dock, right in that whole area there, and they're going to be around a lot. Okay, now let's go to redfish. I checked with Larry Brown last night in the report. Larry's sort of been, Larry's is dealing with some medical issues, and he hadn't been able to fish as much as he wanted to, but he said trout bite over in Choctawhatchee Bay area has been strong and been steady, and anytime they want trout for supper, they just get in a boat and go out a little bit and catch some trout for supper. And it don't get any better than that. If you live out in a situation like that, just go out there, catch some fish, and bring it home and cook it. Don't worry about the freezer and all. I also mentioned redfish. The redfish bite is strong. Crooked Island Sound has been really good. But you know what? There just haven't been. I've been by it several times, like I said. I always look down at the boat landing. It's hardly anybody fishing Crooked Island Sound now. I can't get over it. I guess people are working or something. I don't know. But Crooked Island Sound and the flounder have started coming back in, and that's one of the places they're going to come into now. Flounder fishing is going to be good in Crooked Island Sound. Okay, let's move on all the way down. I haven't talked to Seaquarter. Let's jump on down to St. George Island. We talked about this last week. Again, I mentioned this before. The bridge fishing is going to be really good. Okay, here's a pass here. And then the bridge fishing is going to be really good right in here off the East Point. Now, you're going to catch, again, you're going to catch your same squid and all as they coming in there. Now, you know, the calamari is, of course, what they make out of it. And, of course, that's the small squid. The squid can get up to like 300 pounds. They're like 200-something species of squid. I do know that when we'd go out on a head boat, especially that 25-hour trip where we fished all night, that was the number one bait. That's why you caught everything on with squid, and you still do. So squid is just excellent bait. Most of the guys that catch around here, they catch it and save it for bait. When I go to a bait shop and buy something, go offshore, I just buy squid. I buy squid. Now, if we're trolling, it's a different story because we buy the northern mackerel. That little mackerel, well, it's a little bit about like that to troll with. But the squid is excellent. Okay, I got to start wrapping things up. This weekend, bass fishing, 2 or 3 tournaments going on. Bass fishing is really good in the sandhill ponds, all the lakes around here. River fishing is a washout, literally. So I wouldn't count on anything going to any rivers. Bay fishing is going to be good. Okay, on a 1 to 10, I'd give it about a 7 for this weekend. It's going to be really good. Spanish is going to be, there'll be some Spanish. I can promise you some Spanish will be caught this weekend. And on next week, going to be even more Spanish caught. But it's at 64 degrees now. It needs to go up 2 more degrees. It's going to be a little cool this weekend, but as you get on up next week, it's going to be really good. Got to wrap it up. I'm running out of time, as we always do. I want to tell you how much we appreciate you watching our show and the feedback we get. The special host we have when I'm out of town is just a win-win for everybody. Everybody loves a win-win situation. So you have a great weekend. Do something good for your fellow man and share your outdoor activities and send me some pictures and we'll share them with our viewing audience. And it's a good situation. Have a great day and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.